All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. For those of you who are here, glad that you are indeed here, because what that means is you are ready to go. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about your vision, the story, but specifically the purpose behind it, why it's important, and how, when it comes to building your short-term rental business, it's going to put you in a position to make sure that you earn revenue faster, because that's really what I think about when it comes down to building this thing. What's it going to take? So, and how on earth you can do it, how you can make that happen based upon your own, again, vision and mission. Couple of housekeeping things, assuming, I don't know for sure, but if this happens to be the first time that you have been here over these 2 days, what I do want to do is give you the link to all of the replays. You're able to then go over to cashflowdiary.com/2-day replays. You should do that so that you can get caught up, because all of the information is going to be taken down here shortly. And we want to make sure that you do have some time, even though if you just now got here, that you can get caught up to everything that we have been talking about. Because if you remember, or well, actually you don't remember, back on day one, yes, on day one, we discussed, where did it go? There it is. Back on day one, we discussed why short-term rentals are the most effective way to build your portfolio. We also discussed how to find the capital, how to get landlords to say yes, the systems that are necessary to make sure that you create a incredibly profitable short-term rental business, and how to create freedom, like literally create freedom for your family, for you, for your future, etc. And then today, we will obviously, right now, we're going to be talking all about being able to, where to go, session, these links are everywhere, being able to put your vision and story together. So that's what we're going to be talking about right now. And then in the rest of the day, the balance of the day, the next session is going to be all about a tour of inside what it all looks like, and then being able to follow the process and track your progress, because that's key. It's that way you know exactly what's next, what to do, so that you don't feel like you're lost, because we don't want that. Anyway, so your vision and story is, when it comes to building your business, is actually something that we have an entire number of modules on. With you will then ultimately produce an artifact. It's literally a step-by-step training to help you put it together so that you have the tactical practicals, if you will, to make sure that you are, quote unquote, on track. Here's something that I've witnessed, that I've seen, that I want to make sure that you are protected from doing. So when it comes down to your, we're going to talk about your vision, and story. Okay, one of the many things that's important through this process is specifically the first worksheet. There was a supplemental sheet that I gave you. That supplemental sheet specifically asks the following question. It says, who do you want to serve? That's really, and it's got a whole bunch of blanks in there, and you can figure it out. But the operative word is right here, want. This is why, and this is where it ties to your vision of the company and what it is that you are looking to build. Here's why we're doing this. When you skip this, what people do, what I've seen done, what you could be tempted to do, is to chase money. Here's what I mean. I need money. This is the thought process. I need money, and because I need money, I just want to know where do I need to put a property so that I can, which property do I need so I can get money and someone will stay there? Now, that is one way to build an attack, but is not, in my opinion, the way that you're going to build a sustainable enterprise that's going to support the team structure that we laid out for you. It's just not going to do that. And if you want to do that, if you want the sustainable long-term build business situation, then what you're going to do is you're going to take the time to build the vision. What is it that you are wanting to build? Who do you want to serve? Meaning, very specifically in this case, there are some people you don't want to serve. You've already exercised or executed a job that you did not like. You were serving people you did not necessarily want to serve. So hopefully what I'm saying right there makes a ton of sense to you, because that's what I'm referring to. I'm saying, who do you want to serve? Meaning you have a choice in the matter. And it's not about, but Jay, there's, I want to serve the person who wants to pay us the most. No, because the person that you want to serve, the person who you are going to serve the best, the one who's going to pay you the most, is the one who you actually want to serve. The two are connected. You will serve people who you want to serve better than the ones that you don't want to serve, or that you're just doing for the money. So the money is not a part of the quote unquote vision. Money is the tool. It's a part of what happens. It's part of all of those things. Okay. And then, but what I also want to share with you, and then we'll talk a little bit more about why, is to understand that this vision, I tend to say it this way: you don't necessarily start where you stay. Meaning, there is a time, I think I shared this with you guys, I'm not 100% sure, but there's a book out there that is in the public domain now. It is called The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles. And you may be obliged for a time, keyword being for a time, to do something you don't want to do in order to do the thing that you do want to do. Okay? And there's nothing wrong with that. Also know, where you start isn't necessarily where you stay. I started in the world of real estate with wholesaling, right? And learned a lot of lessons, which has now led to short-term rentals. It's not where I started, but if that makes sense. And you will grow along that path. That is also to say that your vision, as you continue to develop it through the materials and courses and working with your dedicated accountability coach, as you go through that process, you leave room for your maturity, your ability to change what you think you desire, what it is that you want, etc., etc., etc. You leave room for that, because you will grow, you will change, that will happen. It happens to everybody, right? It just does. So, in this process, you don't start where you stay. Because you don't start where you stay, what we're talking about here is that as you develop your vision, is that it'll change. And more importantly, you don't have to try to implement it all at once. Because here's what happens. Many people will have the vision of, I want to be in apartments. Okay, great. And I ultimately want to have 50-unit apartment buildings. Okay, great. But they don't want to start maybe with a single family house, or start with an 8-unit building, or start with a 4-plex, or start with a duplex, or start with the landlord who has those things. They want to jump straight to the end point, and that's just not how it works. So when it comes to your vision and your story, there are 5 questions that are necessary to answer for your business. Those 5 questions in this order will help you build nearly any business all the time. It is why, what, when, who, and then how. Why, what, when, who, and how. Those are the 5 questions. Answering those 5 questions makes all the difference. The one that we're talking about is the why. Everything begins and ends there. Why? Why are you doing the work to build a business and learning to serve a complete stranger, also known as your customer and or guest? Why are you willing to do that? Because there are a lot of people who are not willing. There's a reason though, and if you don't know why you're willing, then that's going to be a challenge. You're going to keep running up into it. Meaning, what is so great? What do you desire that is so great that you're willing to, I mean, we've been getting up at 6:30 a.m., right? Well, anyway, we've been starting at 6:30, I'm sorry, Pacific time. Maybe it's only 9:30 for you, but you get my point. But why were you willing to do that? Why are you willing to keep showing up? Why are you willing to keep learning? Why are you willing to keep doing the exercises? What is in this whole thing for you that is so great that it's worth it to dedicate this kind of time to it? And let me tell you quickly, it's not, the answer is not, well, I just want money and passive income. No, that is not the answer. That is the surface of the top of the tippity top of the answer. So I want to help you develop your vision by sharing with you just a quick exercise that you can do with yourself, by yourself, in order to get there done. So when you ask yourself the questions like I'm asking you, and you come up with, well, I want XYZ to happen, and let's just say it's, you want passive income. Okay, cool. Sounds great. But here's the problem with that answer. It has no emotional connection to you. Your job is to take your vision and story and develop an emotional connection to what it is that you are pursuing. So again, the way that you do this is you take this first level thing and then you ask yourself, well, why do I want passive income? Because there are other types, right? There's active income, there's portfolio income. Why this? Why this? That's a good question. Okay, but why? There's a reason you want it. I know why I want it, but there's a reason that you want it. And maybe your answer to this is, I want passive income because you're concerned that I've heard this from construction individuals, that my body won't allow me to keep working. I've also heard it from chiropractors, right? Your body won't allow you to keep doing what you're doing, the way you're doing it, as you've been doing it. And you've got to find another way to still derive value, because you're like, man, I can't keep doing this. I just physically can't. I may like it, I enjoy it, I like the people I work with, but I have a physical limitation, and so now that becomes the thing. Oh, okay, got it. See, this is getting closer to that emotional, deep reason of why you should or shouldn't do something. Well, then what I like to do is I like to take this another step further. All right, so this is, my body won't allow me, so okay, so I get that, but what happens if you don't? Meaning, what happens if you don't develop this the passive income? What happens if you don't? Does anything negative happen to you if you don't do this? And if so, what is it? Understanding this in detail, again, connects you closer to why you're willing to do the things that you're willing to do. Because there's something on the other end, there's an outcome that all of us are pursuing and achieving and want to have. But we don't take the time to develop the vision. We don't take the time to develop the story. We don't know why we do, why we want to do what we do. We just know we keep doing it, right? We just keep getting up. Somebody said, get up. Because if you don't develop the plan, you'll be a part of someone else's. Very simple. However, we're teaching you to become a bigger, better, badder entrepreneur for the purpose of developing these plans to help other people vis-a-vis through your company have more success. Have a good, clean, safe, affordable place to stay. This is a lot of what we have put together and why the program is structured the way that it is. is so that you have time to put it together. You have time to go deep, right? That's really what it comes down to. So it's like, you and I would, left to our own devices, might not take it to this level because we don't think it's important, but yet 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Ah, there we go. So, today's lesson is remember to charge the microphone. That's what that was. Yes, I know you can't hear me. Well, you can hear me now. My point is, yeah, it's all good. Battery did. Yep, that's exactly what happened. Yep. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. So I don't even remember what I was in the middle of saying at that moment, but what it comes down to is that you and I, we don't put the necessary importance on these things. We want to jump to the end. That's all we want. We want to jump to the end. Straight to the end. Give me the cookie, give me the ice cream, give me the cake. But before you get there, you got to have dinner. And no one wants to have dinner. We want to go straight to dessert. But you got to understand that you got to get to dessert, you have to go through dinner, which means string beans occasionally. And it doesn't always feel good or fun or etc. But this is actually one of the fun parts, is building the vision of what it is that you want to create. And because it's your vision and what you want to create, there is no limitation. There is no, well, I only want to do what's appropriate. What do you want? You want. Not me, you. Not your spouse, you. Now, if your spouse is building with you, yes, what do we want together? But she's got or he's got their things and you got your things. It's how it works. What do you want? Because this is a lot of work. I don't want to ever shy away from that. I don't want you ever thinking that I somehow said that you don't have work to do, right? Like somehow I gave you that impression. Like this wasn't going to be work. But I want to also give you the impression that it'll be worth it, because it is. It's just that simple, right? It's just that simple. Now, what I want to also do is I want to share a resource with you that I have used to help me. So maybe you find yourself in a situation in which you feel like I can't exactly, hold on one second. So maybe you find yourself in a situation where you feel like you can't exactly, what's the word? Dream. Yes, that's the word. It's hard for you to find your way to dreaming. It's hard for you to feel like that's something that you could do, should do, etc. And what I want to do is that I want to share with you a site that has helped me for sure, like totally helped me in so many ways. Let me go to here. And because when I first was doing exercises like this and trying to develop an idea of what we wanted to create, it makes total sense. Why would you take the time to create something when, if you have a job, you're like, I'm never going to get the time off to do the thing. I don't earn enough money to do the thing. So why would I want to torture myself thinking about the thing that I can't do? Like, I don't want to do that. Nobody does, right? And so you may have lost this connection or this connection to the muscle of actually doing that or thinking about what it is. And because at the beginning, I just had to borrow other people's. Okay, I was like, oh, that sounds cool. I'll do that, because I didn't have like something that I wanted to make happen. I just didn't. And if you find yourself in that situation, that's why I want to share this with you. This is a website that I was able to use to help me develop more of some crazy things that hey, that would be fun. Maybe let's try that, right? And it's, again, this company's been around for a while, Cloud9 Living. And what they do is they just do the crazy experiences. So I will give you an example of some of the crazy experiences that I'm talking about. As you can see, they have them all over the place, but you just get to choose what type of experience. Now, me being me, I tend to gravitate towards things that happen in the air, because that sounds like fun to me. To some of you, maybe not so much, right? But maybe you've wanted to go indoor skydiving, military flight simulator, learn to fly a helicopter. That sounds like fun to me. Being in a Boeing simulator experience, Temecula. Wow. I don't even drink. I don't even know where tequila, it's because it says sunrise, so I was thinking, anyway, whatever. Temecula sunrise balloon ride. We've got many of these things that are here. There are some extreme ones that I'm also looking for, because yes, there it is. Fly a fighter jet. Yes. Like, just what? You know? Now, again, that may excite you, maybe it doesn't, I don't know, but you're building a business for a reason, and the business should serve you to have the experiences and the quality of life and health that you desire. And maybe flying a fighter jet is just something you do for fun one day because your company reaches a certain goal. Let's keep going. Go to driving. Yes, that's the other one. So now, and again, it varies by location, but maybe this is something that's in your world, is the whole driving situation, right? Maybe you've thought about, hey, how could I do a quarter mile on a track on a dragster? I don't know. But again, these are the evidences. These are the things that maybe it excites you, maybe it doesn't. My point is, I'm planting the seed so that you can build the vision that you want. Imagine having a business that gives you the freedom to choose, like we talked about, to do things like this, and you're serving the people that you want to serve and helping the local community, providing the jobs, doing the thing. That's what we're talking about, okay? And learning to build all of those things. That's what we do. This is all in service of and why the roadmap is a 12-month program, right? And let me find another good one I know my wife tends to like the stuff in the food area. Now, most of this, I think, it's limiting itself to Orange County at the moment because that's where I am. So I could easily change, to a completely different geographic location if that's what's going to do it for you in some way, shape, or form. But my point is, I'm submitting this to you so that you can have an understanding, have an idea of some of the things that your business can provide for you if for some reason having a vision for, thinking about, getting excited around is a challenge. And in fact, when you have a significant other and you want to get them on board, here's a sneaky trick. Get them to pick something and say, hey, well, cool, when we get to this, then we can go do that, right? So there are many ways to leverage the idea of doing something exciting in your favor, but that vision should be something that's exciting to you, something that's a pull forward, because there will be many days where you don't feel like being pulled and you don't want to do this thing, because that's just normal. You're human. That's what happens, okay? That's just what happens. But that's also why we have your accountability coach. They check in with you. That's their job, is to keep checking in with you. Because if you are human, then there are times where your motivation isn't as high. and we check in with you to make sure that, hey, let's stay focused, let's get back on track. Because see, falling off the horse isn't the problem. It's how long it takes you to get back on. Fall off, fine, get back on. Learn to get back on quicker and reduce the time between them. And then you know what happens? You start making progress. That's what happens for each and every person. Okay? So what we want you to do is to take that journey one step, one day, if you will, at a time, and keep making daily progress. That's just how it works. Your vision is it's the fuel, if you will. It's the reason you keep doing it. Building it is something you should take an immense amount of time to do because it's that important. You don't want to put, you don't want to put unleaded fuel in a racing vehicle because it's a completely different octane, completely different mixture, completely different everything because that engine is capable of a lot. So therefore, you want to put the right fuel inside of that engine to make sure that, well, the vehicle runs as properly as it can. And that's what we're saying here, is that the vehicle of real estate, the vehicle of short-term rentals, it can deliver a lot for you. It can deliver a lot for your family. It can deliver, well, very well. But it's also, it will never deliver more than the size and scope of your vision. Not ours, yours. It will never deliver more than the size and scope of your vision. It becomes that goal, the plan, track. It's what we've always stated. It's what we've always done. It's what it takes in order to make that happen for each and every one of us. So if you haven't already, what I want you to do is get on over to cashflowdiary.com/roadmap. Go ahead and use the coupon code April2020 when you get over there, because what that's going to do is to give you the $200 per month off so that you can, well, you will have that. Additionally, if you want, you can also pay in full. What that simply means is that you would get an additional 10% off the annual price as well. If you haven't done that yet, make sure you at least book a call with Rob and talk to him because, well, that didn't come out right. There we go. Book a call with Rob, and what he'll be able to do is to assist you with getting the any additional questions, if you have them, answered, because you want to make sure that you get that done too. So you can do that by going to cashflowdiary.com/2-day call. 2-day call. Once you get over to the sales page, checkout page there, I'll show you what that looks like really fast by going to it. When you go over there, as you can see, I'm just typing in cashflowdiary.com/roadmap. It's going to look very similar to, well, it's going to look exactly like this. To remind you, the roadmap is it's 12 months. You got a year of training and coaching with myself, with my team, with guest experts. You have your dedicated accountability coach who makes sure that you do all the work that's required in the order that's required, and that you have access to all of the courses, everything that goes into phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3, which means you end up in a more stable position to be able to own real estate long term. We are currently at 3 times. We will be going to 4 times. And for those of you who are joining now, your price is locked in. So that means when we go to 4 times, the price is actually going to go up to $15.97. For the time being, what you can do is April 2020, just like so, click the blue button, and boom, goes down to $13.97. And once we add more stuff to it, your price stays the same. Very, very simple, very clear, very easy, we hope. All right. The next piece that we're going to be going through is inside of session 4. I had to remember, I'm like, what session are we on right now? So inside of session 4 today is all around There it goes. Session 4 is all around the tour. Live Q&A, but the tour is the big thing. So we're going to show you inside, like through, and you'll be able to hear the experiences of those who have gone through. So I think that's something. You've also seen some of the experiences because we've posted them, or I think they were posted today from members like Robert, and you've heard about the transformation and the experience. And now we're going to show that to you in a live format as well, because, well, we think it's important that you see it so that you can understand the comprehensive nature, how it all works, and to give you an understanding of the difference, so to speak. Because that's actually one of the questions we get all the time. How is this different? Well, it's different because all of the humans are here live in a lot of senses. You're going to learn information, but we're also going to keep you accountable to do the things. And even now, and even more so now, because right now, because of everything that is happening, it is easy to put yourself in a situation in which you think, well, something that is actually detrimental to your business. You know, thought processes like, we're just gonna duck and cover and hide, that doesn't help you and your family. And as I've said before, at best it gives you a Pyrrhic victory, which you don't want, because you end up sacrificing so many resources just to get to that finish line. We want you to build. We want you to expand. Remember, when we started this, we just had 2 goals: believe and build. Believe and build. That's all it comes down to. Believe and build. And we want to take you on the journey, because we're all on a journey, but this particular journey is something that we can define. We can help you get all the way across to, and we're just inviting you to join us. So by all means, get over to cashflowdiary.com/roadmap, get started, or get your call scheduled at cashflowdiary.com/2-day call. If you have not started, or if this is your first session with us and you are just now like, oh, wow, there's a lot going on here, what I want you to do is to make sure that you get caught up on the replays. And you should also be able to see, a number of the units or a lot of the information inside the unit section as well. So that information is there for you so that you can leverage it, so that you can use it, so that you can get caught up. Because as I said, once it comes down, it's down, and that's just the way it goes. Ladies and gentlemen, I am excited to continue to facilitate all of this training and information and delivery for you, and it is what we do, okay? It's just what we do. So the next session, let me see, is session 4, which starts at 2 p.m. So session 4 is going to start at 2 p.m. So what does that mean? That means you've got some time. For those of you who haven't already, make your call with Rob. If you had your call with Rob already, awesome, great. Make sure you come back, but make sure you get started. Make sure you get something to eat, okay? Because when we come back, we're gonna take you in the inside. We wanna show you all around everything that we've got available for you, so that you can become a bigger, better, badder entrepreneur than you may have even considered when you made your New Year's resolutions, right? Because the goal right now is to help you believe and build, actually execute, to make your vision become reality. I look forward to talking to you soon.